we're going to talk about somebody was down in South Beach, won you guys an NBA championship, and it's been having a back and forth with Stephen A. Smith. And I just kind of want to get this out the way a little early here. We're going to talk about the LeBron James, Stephen A. Smith back and forth. And I want to set the stage and play a little bit of podcast with Gable Arenas, just a little snippet. And then we're going to...
the intentions on talking about it until I woke up that morning and saw that the shit had gone viral. Once the shit had gone viral, the bosses at ESPN, now you got to talk about it. This is you and him.
Now, when I first started here, I saw the clips of him walking up, of course, to Stephen A. And I was like, what the heck is going on with LeBron here? And then after the fact, I started listening to other people talk about, oh, well, you know, he was upset because he's a dad. And my first thought was, the man is in the NBA, talking about Bronny. They can go back and say he was a kid. They can go back and try to spin all that he wants. But I can remember Kevin Garnett. I can remember Kobe. Even though they might not have had the same, and I ain't going to even say pressure, because it's hard to have pressure when your daddy is a billionaire and you got a $4 or $8 million contract. But wasn't nobody coming to their aid like they were coming to his. So what's your take on that, E? Before we get a little bit more into the video.
LeCarron was wrong for that.
LeCarron?
First of all, I thought that was weak of him to go at Stephen A. post game or whenever it was on the sidelines in front of all the cameras. They got each other's phone numbers, okay?
Yes.
They could have met like grown men in private behind closed doors if this was a issue of, you know, him being a father. We all fathers.
Right.
Why would you wait to do it in front of the cameras to try to dress this man down and everybody going to see it? To me, I felt like he was trying to make it more about him than making it more about his son. First of all, Stephen A. Smith gets paid the money he makes to express his opinion on sports.
Right.
He's a mouthpiece for a cable sports network, and that's what he gets paid to do. Mm-hmm. Second of all, your son is a professional athlete now. You pushed for him to be in the league when he wasn't even a starter in college.
Right.
There were guys that were better than him that didn't even get drafted. But you pushed to get your son on the same team as you. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have no recourse there, in my opinion. This is not about a father-son moment. This is about a young man that got critiqued for his game in the professional sports by a mouthpiece for a major cable sports network that gets paid to critique people in sports.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's no secret. I don't like the dude. Everything about
he's talking about LeBron, you guys.
everything about him. That's why he won't retire. He want to pass Kareem. He want to pass Jordan and Kobe and all this. In my opinion, he shouldn't even be a Laker. He a stain on the uniform. The Melo brothers should be out there together playing in LA, but they traded that to get this bum. So, man, like I said, it's no secret. At least people that know me, I don't care for him. I've never thought he was a GOAT. I never thought he was the king. I can name 10 forwards right now that I would pick before I pick him for my team. He wouldn't even make my bench.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I could think of 10.
Come on now. I ain't going to do LeBron like that.
I am. If I look back in the last 40 years, maybe 45 years, I know I can name 10 forwards, whether they're a power forward or a shooting forward, that I would take before him. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go off basketball and stats, I can name 10, probably 15 forwards that I'm taking before him.
Yeah.
He has done nothing to impress me just because he can dunk. Shit, Harold Miner could dunk. Harold Miner was cold, but he didn't have a jump shot. He had no jump shot. So how long did Harold Miner last in the league? Not long, because he didn't have a jump shot. They called him Baby Jordan.
Right.
They called him Baby Jordan because he could dunk so good. He can facilitate the ball. Okay, he's a great passer. I'll give him that. But all this that what he did 2 weeks ago against
Right.
Boston, that fake flop against our
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And then went out
That's what
the game and didn't come back
805Ks
in.
put up there.
Oh my God. Then he went out the game and didn't come back in. Oh shit.
Oh man. Hey, and then he got mad at Charles Barkley, but Charles was telling the truth. Say, I think he came back because Charles Barkley called him out. Say he probably gonna sit out the rest of the season and come back for the playoffs. What do you think about? I ended this debate one time. I said, name somebody that you know that's been out of the game 20 years and they still relevant. And he was like, hey man, you got a point. Because we know a lot of players that's been out, Bird, Charles, all these guys. But the only thing that gets under LeBron's skin is MJ. That's it. That's it. Because he
First of
can't.
all, there's no comparison. You can't compare the two because they play two different positions. Okay?
Correct.
MJ a guard. LeBron is a forward. You can't compare the two. LeBron will never be in the same room with Michael Jordan or Kobe or any guard. It's a lot of guards. Other guards I can name I would take before him and put at forward. But if we just go name some forwards, you name just two of them. I'm prime Barkley, prime Larry Bird, Duncan, Weber, Garnett. I could keep going. Larry Johnson before he hurt his back with Charlotte. I'm sorry. The only difference I've been saying this for the longest. The only difference between Larry Johnson and LeBron James is 2 inches. One 6'7", one is 6'9". They both 250. But Larry Johnson coming out of UNLV had better footwork, had better ball handles, was more aggressive in the paint. So I'm taking him all day. He was a man amongst boys at UNLV. They said he was supposed to be so great that he could come in the league, but I didn't see
he was the
that.
chosen one.
They chose him.
He was the chosen one.
Yeah, chose by who?
Right.
Chose by
hey,
who?
like Kwame Brown always say, he said, what's the comedy he used? He says, stars are not born, they are created. That's what Kwame Brown always say. Shout out Kwame Brown.
What was my man name out of East St. Louis that was so cold before his knees went bad? Darius Miles. He was rare. Garnett was rare. Kobe was rare. Daryl Dawkins was rare. These was the dudes that came out. These was the dudes that stood out to come out of the high school that could go to the next level.
Yeah.
They went up.
Yeah.
I mean, you seen what Vernon Maxwell said about playing against Kobe while Kobe was still 18 in the gym. Even he said, dude, you ready. You ready to go to the next level. I ain't never seen LeBron scrimmage against nobody in the league. And then they say, yeah, this dude is ready to go in the NBA. I ain't seen it.
Yeah.
All I seen was a cable sports network every day. Put this dude out there, like they put Alabama out there and the SEC out there. And the next thing you know, he gets drafted.